Honestly, good weekend. To be able to go into Norman and play the way that we played. Hopefully, setting us up for a good run in the postseason. Now this is the funnest time of year, and it's right here upon us now. We like to call it season 3 here. So we're excited about that. We've got a lot to go over with our team. I didn't think we played particularly well the whole series. We obviously had some really clutch hitting, and a couple of those games, we had a really good pitching. But we can improve there. We can have even more good at bats. They made it really hard on us to score with runners in scoring position with their outfield play. They're just really dang good. I can recall multiple balls that went to the wall we couldn't get to second on. It's part of their speed and outfield play, which is excellent. So, but we had enough clutch hitting and all that, and so it was good. So, in the past now we're focused on BYU and a team that gave us fits when we were there, and so we've been talking about them and how to beat them, and that's the only focus that we've got at this point.
I assume yesterday was probably a day off for you guys, so you haven't been around the team a ton, I'm guessing, since Sunday. So are you kind of curious to see what moods are going to be like today, or do you feel pretty comfortable with how they're going to handle the weekend?
I'm not worried at all. I don't think there'll be any different than what they've been after we lost to Iowa State or after we beat Texas. I think it's the same thing. I think it'll be workmanlike. We've got we're entering into that cool phase where school's almost done, where they're kind of like pros, you know what I mean? It's kind of don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So I'm really, really excited about that, where we can just kind of go and just, their focus can truly be on the softball part, which is not normal, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited about that, but I think we'll have a great day. It's beautiful out. I think our energy will be good. And at least that's my anticipation.
The past however many years, there's been a clear favorite going into this Big 12 tournament. Is it kind of exciting with, you guys have beaten Texas, you guys have beaten Oklahoma? Is it kind of exciting the parity that this league has right now?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. I mean, I've been thinking. I knew that this year it was going to be good. I thought we'd actually have a couple other teams that would be a little higher up. I don't know. I mean, honestly, like, you can look at all this stuff, but like we got to beat BYU. I mean, that is it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the approach we always take, is just what's under our feet. The parity's been good my whole time here for the most part, especially in that top group. It's been really good. Obviously, OU's been the most dominant team in the country, so we've all been fighting that. But it's fun. I mean, it's good. It's good.
When you talk about some of the teams that could have been higher up, I don't know if BYU is on that list, but you look at some of their wins.
Yeah,
they've competed with just about everybody.
Yeah, I think they've struggled with their pitching being hurt. I'm not sure where they're at right now. I don't know if they'll have somebody back that we didn't see, but they were pretty banged up. So I don't know if those were season injuries or just part just like temporary stuff. So we'll see. But I mean, I expect them. They're really well coached. They seem to play with a really good energy. And it's going to be tough.
One of the players that was really productive over the weekend that we really haven't talked a whole lot about this season is Michaela. She seems to have just really kind of settled into a really comfortable role. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think, she's been battling her knees. I mean, she's still battling them. I mean, it's a constant every day. So she's been battling that. I think if you cut her chest open and could really get to the truth, I think she was really upset about not playing first. Okay, so it's taken time to get through that. She's a competitor. She wants to be on the field no matter what. No matter if it's defense, offense, base running. She still gets mad at me when I pinch run at times. She's like, I'm fine. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, I know you're not fine. So, like, it's okay. But, like, it's just taken time to settle into that role. And so I think as she's gotten settled in, and the hitting coach change was not easy. You know what I mean? Because it's like she was a kid that really bought into the previous deal, even though she didn't love it. She bought in, and then it's like I pulled the rug from under her feet. And now she's being asked to think about some things a little different way. So I think for a kid who put in the work and who continues to put in the work on her own and with us, that was a little bit frustrating to her. So I think it's just taking time for her to, like you said, just get settled in. And I mean, she's quietly hit, I don't know, 10 or 11 home runs. 10? I mean, 2 years now in a row. Like, and nobody's really talking about her. And I got her batting like 7th. You know, last year she batted 4th, I think, the whole year, or right there, 4th or 5th. Like, so like, there's a little bit of pride, but she's also doing a much better job of. She's somebody that when she tries to lead, it's not doesn't always come out good, and she's been working really hard on that. And I think when you get to a point where you're doing things for the right reasons, good things has happened. And I think all that perfect storm is starting to happen for her at the right time.
You mentioned BYU's got some pitching question marks going in. You guys did a little bit of different stuff on the weekend. Just kind of looking back at it, how'd you feel about how it all went, and how's Ivy doing? I think we're going to talk to her here in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll let her tell you how she feels. But you know, if you remember early in our year, we did this against some top teams. We just did it with Ivy, not Kyra, and that was back when our analytical feedback was Ivy could probably give us 6, maybe 9 outs. Well, she's changed her profile, and so that's changed that role for her. So it's not really something new. We just hadn't done it for a while, kind of just been holding back until the time is right. Now the time is right, where some of these games have a different feel or meaning to some people, and so we've been waiting to do some of this stuff. That's kind of one of the things I talked about early on, was just the different approach that we were going to take. That's Carrie, that's the youth, that's the not afraid to take some chances and take some calculated risk, if you would. I mean, I guess you could call it that, but I knew that's what we were going to do before she even asked me, or before she convinced me. You know what I mean? I was like, I had a feeling we were going to do something like that, especially with the unknown with Ivy. We didn't really know yet. We hadn't thrown her a lot here the last couple of weeks. So we were kind of trying to protect, but once we saw her go out there and kind of gut through what she's gotten through and knew she could do it, it kind of changed things even midstream. So that's what I love about this staff and this team. They're willing to just, whatever's on the lineup card, let's go. These are who they want to go with, let's go. And this is how we're going to go about this. And then you got somebody like Lexi that we can talk to and go, hey, this is the way we're going to go. You're the best pitcher in the country, or one of the handful of the best in the country. And it's not normal for them to say, yeah, I'm good with what you guys want to do. So that's what makes this whole group great.
How important is chemistry for this group?
Oh, I think it's big for any group. I think it's big for any workplace. I think it's big for anything you do in life that you have multiple people involved. Chemistry, you know, or healthy, or culture, whatever the buzzword is, or you want it, you know, to be, is real. It's earned. It's people having the guts to talk to their coworkers or teammates or friends about things that are bothering them, and it's that person that's being talked to having the guts to listen and not talk, just listen, so you can really understand how people feel and they think. And then when two people are doing that, there's really good harmony there, you can solve any problem. And so I think we have a bunch of problem solvers here. We're not perfect. We don't, not everybody in this place gets along. But they get along out here on this field, and they have a common goal. They don't all go to the same house when the games are done, or they don't go to the same wherever they're going to go. They don't all, they have their little groups. They have little things that they all do, and they all kind of work through. So, but the key is when we're here, the key is if their phone rang late at night, are you going to answer? We have all that. And So I guess what I'm trying to say is chemistry is important in any workplace, in any team, in anything. It's as important as anything.
You talked this weekend about how this past weekend could be big for confidence for your players. Do you think with Vanessa and Carrie both in 2 new roles that this could be big for their confidence as well moving forward?
I think that those two are both fairly confident in what they do. They've had tremendous success as players. Vanessa wasn't always, she's always been a scrawny kid that had to work, you know what I mean? She's really good and talented, but she had to overcome not having size and strength. I used to get on her hair about it. She'll tell you that. I said, man, you're just not strong enough to do this. And she'd go, okay, watch this. I'll hit 3 home runs and boom, boom, boom. And you're like, oh, well, maybe it's there. Carrie wasn't a highly recruited person. Went to Virginia Tech and didn't start out great. Kind of got better. Then came here and was the best she'd ever been. So it's like they've grown into that. So they've seen the recipe for success, and they've stayed on that, and they're competitive, and they're thoughtful about what they're gonna do. I'm not, and they'll tell you that. I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants. I want to decision right now. The emotions are right here. I'm different than them. It's what makes us good. But I think this just validated to those two that they're pretty dang good at what they do. And they don't need to, that's not something they're going home and going, I'm good. That's not what they're doing. But they're just, everybody needs validation. Everybody needs it from your boss. Okay, I don't care if you're me. I don't care if you're them. We need that. We need to be coached too. They need to be coached. Our kids need to be coached. They need to be told thank you. I need to tell my staff that. Those are things that really matter. And what's really cool is when you have people like this that you would take a bullet for, and that they would take a bullet for you. Those conversations are easy and they happen a lot. And I think they showed up here at work like nothing happened. They're just back at work. They're not in here trying to take pictures with trophies and all kinds of stuff like that. We're in here working because we want to. It's not the goal. It's that beating OU is not our goal. Okay, it's nice to get done on the way to your goal, but if we don't get to OKC, I don't think anybody's really going to care much, to be very honest.
That's a perfect lead-in for what I wanted to ask.
That's what
after there you go. After you won the series, how much foresight was put into moves that you made in the 3rd game?
A lot. Yeah, we.
I wouldn't want them to see
Pitching-wise.
Lexi again.
That was our
No
whole
need.
deal. Carrie really didn't want Lexi to throw it all. I told her if we have a lead and there's 3 to 6 outs left, they're going to see her again.
Right.
Okay, we're going to go for it. We're not going to hold back on that. But if we were tied or didn't have a lead, no shot. So I thought when we scored those 2 runs late in the 5th, I looked over at Carrie and I just looked at her. I said, "You better get her going." And she goes, "We got to get a lead." I said, "I know, but get her going. Just get her. Just turn her over. Let's make sure it happens." So I really, in my gut, I said, "This is about to happen." That's how I've got to think. So I'm thinking ahead.
Yeah, bases loaded.
Yeah. We had a chance. We had our chances in that whole game. They just shut it down and did some nice things. So you got to credit them. But it created a lot of stuff.
All right.
Or changed a lot of stuff.
You just talked about in coaching, you're more of a fly by the seat of your pants. I did a story last night. Your comment, I believe after game 2, the one where they're the bullies, they're the standard. I'm recruiting. How much do you think about your comments, or is it just flow?
No, it's bad. It's bad. I don't take it.
Because that's gold. That's coaching gold in this day and age to get a comment from a coach like that.
Yeah, I wish I was better at
Filtering?
Yeah, that would be a nice word. But it's not untrue.
No, it was perfect.
That's what it is. You go in that stadium And if you're paying attention to what people are saying in there, that's a definition of that. And it's the definition of that. And I'm very clear. Like I think you know this. I am as honest as it gets. They bully you inside that stadium. They bully you anywhere. That's how they play. They're good at it. They're not dirty. They're not mean. But when they're slamming bats on walks, that's trying to bully somebody. Like, I mean, you just walked. Like, I don't know why you're slamming a bat. Okay, like and it gets their crowd going, and then their crowd's on you. It's part of everything. They've earned that over 30 years. It's wild. It's crazy. It's why it's so hard to win there. It's so hard to beat them if they're here. It's just how they play. It's not how I want my team, to play. But I respect the hell out of that. Like, respect the hell out of that. I've said that from day one. They are the standard. They're the gold standard. So, I probably should be better at that. It's the whole thing of the comments I made this summer about Kelly. That was not me wanting to take Kelly in a back alley. That was me just being honest. I'm trying to protect us. And if you're an OSU fan, you loved it. If you're an OU fan, you hated it. If you were outside of one of us, you loved it because nobody outside loves them.
If you're in the media, you love it.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys do. So, but yeah, I probably need to do, or probably there'd be a lot of folks that would encourage me to, but I'm not. I can't. I used to, my first year, it was such an emotional roller coaster. I mean, I cried all the time in front of them, and I was like, I gotta stop this. I stutter. I want to stop stuttering, and I'm like, well, I just need to be me, the best me. And if that's crying, if that's stuttering, it is what it is. I'm not trying to cry. I'm not trying to stutter. I mean, I'd rather not, but it's just who I am. So I just learned. I'm getting better in year 9, almost 10 now, to just be me. If you don't like me, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I do not care. I want these women in there to care. If they care and they're good, I'm good.